Monday morning. I hope you've had a good weekend. Instagram's rather taken off a little bit now, so 250 followers on there. I'm really pleased with that, so thanks very much for everybody that's popped over there and shown your support. Also a few more subscribers on YouTube as well, so welcome to the channel. I'm just heading up into the borders now. The weather's the weather was lovely yesterday on Sunday, but it's rather miserable and wet today, so I will see if it clears up. Last Tuesday there I was putting that travel motor back together on that for that 235, so yeah, I'll show you how we got on with that, and when that's finished I'll meet you the next digger. Alright. For me, travel motor to rebuild. So the backstory is I was servicing this fella's 235 back in the summer. Nice, simple, straightforward job, and yeah, it rather sort of turned into a bit of a carry on. So when I was servicing it, I always take this top bung out, and that's to let the air out. Anyway, I did one side, came round to the side, took that bung out, and it just sprayed me with oil. I thought, oh no, that's not good. This is what it turned into. So basically that seal down there is it's knackered, it's all worn out, and it's damaged this shaft on here. So I'm up to step 6 on the rebuilding of it. So this part here is the motor part, okay, and these are all little pistons. So as the oil comes in at the bottom end of this piston, it shoves it up and it goes round like that. So what I'm making sure I'm doing is coating everything. I've coated all this in oil, all around here in oil. Coated this because these brass piston ends are going to sit on the swash plate here. So the key now is to lift this into there without them falling out. So that went really well, and when I turn this now, this shaft here is moving. So that shaft there is what's putting power through to the gearbox, which will then make the track chain go around. So that's good. Right, next I'm going to build up the travel motor brake. So the brake is for when the machine is basically parked up. These plates here, you've got a friction plate, and then you've got wear plate, friction plate, wear plate, so on. So they need to go back in. They've been soaking in oil, so I'll put these back in. So when you are tracking along and you come to a stop, it's not these that are stopping you, it's the motor stopping you, not the brake. The brake is just when you're in park, so it's like a parking brake, best way to describe it. So that's the brake pack in, so to speak. The next thing to go in is this. This is called the brake cylinder. So you've got small, there we go, small holes in there. So you get oil pressure, which comes and pushes that piston up the way against the springs. So it's oil pressure that takes the brake off, and then it's mechanics, so to speak, that pushes the brake on. Now I've just had a look at this, and you can see the burr on the edge of that brake piston, that seal. So I've just checked, and I've got seals in the seal kit, so I'll just reseal this piston now. Right, that's the brake piston in now, so that's the back of the motor, that's the guts of the motor, so to speak. Brake piston's in. Now in the book it said coat with grease and tap gently until it is seated. Well, let me tell you, one man's tap, I don't know, that took some blooming tapping, I'll tell you that much. So I'm just done with reassembling it a bit more now. These are the springs that push down on this plate to apply the brake mechanically. And what we're going to need to do next is put them into here and then tip this lot up onto there. I need to line that hole with that dowel. Got two outer dowels which are here and here. So I've got to get those springs in without falling out. Got to line that up and those up. Yeah, okay. Right, I think that's the worst of it done for rebuilding the travel motor. Everything runs to such a fine tolerance in there, and just the smallest bit of grit, if it doesn't cause trouble in a valve in here, it might go up the pipes and cause trouble elsewhere. So keeping everything really clean is pretty important, to be honest with you. I am at this 14 tonner with a check engine light, and the fan keeps revving up and down. I've put my laptop on it. It's saying that I can see the ECU desired fan speed, and the fan has just got a mind of its own. I've checked my wiring through here, and I suspect that the speed sensor on there's failed, so I'm going to replace it before this rain comes in. Bye. It is absolutely miserable out there. I literally sort of taken the plug off and started undoing all the fan housing, and it came absolutely soaking with rain. So yeah, I put my phone in the van, so I didn't get much footage of that, but he's away working now. So this was the culprit. So this is a viscous fan. This screws onto the shaft, which is powered by your fan belt, and you can see it runs sort of, I'll try and hold it, it runs independently to this, and this piece in here, there's a clutch in there, which is what your 4 or 5 wires are doing. They're controlling the clutch, so your fan can spin at a different RPM to what the engine is doing. So as this whole piece is rotating, this piece here, which is the speed sensor, is stationary. It does a little bit of that, but it's
reasonably stationary, and that's reading the speed that this is doing to tell the ECU. So the ECU knows what the fan speed is, the coolant temperature goes up, so the ECU tells the fan to work harder, and so the clutch will bite in and the RPM of the fan will go around. So what it was doing was it came up with an engine management light, but there was no error codes in the error log for it, and I think the reason for that is this is a Doosan part, and obviously it's a Perkins engine, so Perkins ECU software doesn't recognize the Doosan part, but it recognizes that there's a fault. So yeah, I noticed when you went into the cooling section on the diagnostics software, the desired fan speed at the time was about 500 RPM, and this thing was fluctuating between about 700 and sort of 1900 RPM, so the fan speed was sort of like building up, ramping up, and then just going absolutely berserk. So yeah, just an odd one to look out for, engine management light, but no associated codes. I'll just have a bite of lunch here while I'm sat parked up. It's a nice area, the borders. When you get up to sort of Kelso, everything kind of opens out to great big fields and rolling countryside, and there's a fair bit of big tackle, big machinery knocking about as well. There's a big self-propelled spray coming down the road here just now. Can't imagine I'll be doing much spraying in this wind, but no, I like coming up here. It's a change of scenery from all the hills and fells that I'm used to down Cumbria, and sort of like the borders which are closer to Carlisle. Road. Absolutely awesome. Don't see many of them in Cumbria now. But if you do, they're only little. There's a bit of a traffic jam up the road there, so I'll just let everybody get sorted out while I'm not on the road. But aye, that's him working away happily now. It's just only doing a bit of drainage, look, clearing some dikes out. So he'll throw all the muck into the field there, and then he'll flatten it all out, and then he'll come in with the plough and turn it all over, and you'll never know it was there, other than the odd cobble. Sun's coming out now, look. I was sat down in that gateway there waiting for these lot to clear out the road. I thought there'd been something happening, and they've just all been stood chatting, so I don't know what's been going on. I don't really fancy going too far down into this dike because it's soft. There we go. If I'd have known they were just chatting, I would have set off 2 minutes ago, but never mind. It has really got out wet now, and yeah, I'm just making our way back to base now. So about an hour and a half or so. So when I get back, I think I'll go and find a small corner of the workshop and start putting that travel motor or the gearbox onto that motor that you've just seen us rebuild. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll probably put that in tomorrow's video. Not 100% sure yet what we're doing tomorrow. Right, I'm back at base now, and it's 4:20, so I'll get all these bits ready for this gearbox to go back together. I've just had a phone call off a fella down sort of South Cumbria, just off the motorway. He says he's got a DX62, and not something that I've came across before. After 2 or 3 hours of working, it's as though the engine loads up and the engine bogs down when he's working it. He's tried new fuel filters, and he's also ran it off a drum of diesel straight onto the injection pump. So yeah, not entirely sure what to expect when we go down there, whether it's something electrical loading the hydraulics up, or whether it's the hydraulics loading the pump up. Yeah, it should be an interesting one, but not entirely sure where I'll start. So yeah, join me tomorrow for that one. Thanks very much to everybody again that has followed me on Instagram. You can head over there to Ali's Digger Diary and get the latest on there, and also thanks to the latest subscribers on YouTube as well. It's all greatly appreciated, so thanks very much. So yeah, see you in the morning.